Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Thursday. We we've almost made it to the end of the week, haven't we? Today's Red Mic message: no coattails, no excuses. It was a old post on LinkedIn. I had it pinned to the top of my profile for a long time. I don't know if it still is or not. It was a it was a question from Fubu founder and Shark Tank guy, Eamon John. And he said it was something he likes to ask applicants. What is something that's happened to you after the age of 15 that was completely beyond your control? Well, here's my long answer. Back in 2001, I was running district operations and communications for my state senator up in Wichita Falls. I was kind of a de facto deputy chief of staff without the title. I was running basically operations for a 26 county district. We had part or all of 26 counties throughout Central Texas and North Central Texas. Our main office was in Wichita Falls. We had additional offices in Sherman and Abilene. And about 5 a.m. One summer, the summer of '01, I got a call from our office manager. She told me the senator had passed away a few hours earlier in the middle of the night. So I got up, I got moving. My wife was several months pregnant with our second child, and I was kind of numb. I was kind of grieving, but I had to put all of that on hold because I had stuff to do. I was in the office by 6 a.m. We had a press release out to the local, statewide, and then eventually national media. We had our first press release out by 6:30. The rest of the day was a blur. Live interviews in person, recorded interviews, phone calls, condolence visits from constituents, dignitaries. I finally got home about 8 o'clock. My last interview was actually in the car on the way home. And it didn't stop that day. It went several days all the way through the funeral. It was only honestly, after the funeral, that I was actually able to take time to process the loss. We spent a lot of time together. I traveled with him. He was retired. So yeah, the loss hit. Now in Texas, a Senate vacancy is done by special election. There was no guarantee that the new senator was going to hire any of the staff back. So I got busy, found a new job, had to move 5 hours away though, had to move down here to Austin. 6 months later, I was finally able to get my wife and sons down here. But before that, I was driving back and forth between Austin and Wichita Falls every weekend. And it was exactly as much fun as that sounds like. Compounding all of this is a few months after the senator passed, but before I got the job, 9/11 happened. So the real estate market completely collapsed, everything dried up. It took us 17 months to sell our house, but we got through it. My family joined me in Austin, and we've been here ever since. And it's not the last time life threw me a big curveball. I've hung my own shingle out a couple of times, and sooner or later you're going to have a client who doesn't pay you. The question isn't whether it's going to happen, it's question of what you do next. Um, Sometimes you just got to swallow hard and figure out, well, they're not the people you thought they were. And, you know, scrape them off, Claire. Thank you, Frank Cross. This sort of transitions into a sort of point I wanted to make about coattails. Usually if you're in a job, normal situation, you do a good job, you can use those references as sort of the coattails to pull yourself up to another job. But sometimes you don't have any. Now, the job I left Wichita Falls for, the one that got me here in Austin, it got pretty turbulent towards the end, to the point to where there were a lot of folks in state government who wouldn't even take my boss's calls anymore, much less take take any word from them as a reference for me. Whatever coattails might have been there working for a statewide elected official, they didn't exist. So I left that frying pan, landed at a state agency that not long after was shut down through the state sunset process. So I was starting over again. From there, I moved to another state agency working for somebody who didn't hire me. And if you've ever been in that situation, you know how that can go. I could have told this guy the sky was blue and he would have argued with me. At one point, I put together a big marketing plan, and it was thoughtful, detailed, designed to solve some real problems that we had. And he completely trashed it, demoted me. And then uh, a few couple of months later, the person that he brought in to replace me trotted out their marketing plan, and there were a lot of my ideas in it. The same ideas that he hated. Now suddenly he was holding it up like it was the best thing since sliced bread. Now, you can get bitter about that. You can spend your time thinking about what's fair and what's not, who got credit, who didn't, or you can recognize the reality. Sometimes there are no coattails. There is no safety net. Nobody's coming to carry you forward or save you. It's just you. That was the first time I hung out my own shingle. I needed to rely on my work, my reputation, what I chose to do next. So back to Damon John's question. Well, a lot of things happen in your life that are completely beyond your control. And I don't think that's the point he was trying to make. I think he was trying to say that, nothing is beyond your control. Well, I understand the concept, but I don't think that's quite true. There are a lot of things that happen that are beyond your control, and every one of us can say that. What is within your control, though, is how you respond. You can curl up in a ball and sit in a dark room and feel sorry for yourself, or you can pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and as the old song says, start all over again. That's what I chose to do, and that's what I'd encourage you to do, too. And that's today's Red Mike message. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you find it helpful. I would humbly ask that you give me a like, a follow, and a share, no matter what platform you're listening to this on. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll see you again tomorrow. Hashtag Fun Friday tomorrow. I'm going to talk about a scene from Big Bang Theory. Thank you for being here. Don't forget, as always, life is short. Drink the bourbon. I'll see you.